Hello, welcome to Sloth-worx YouTube channel. I just wanted to give y'all kind of an intro to the video coming up. This video is showing the process that I use to modify these Centramatic balancers to fit a 4th gen Ram 1500. If you clicked on this video looking for a review, this is not the one for you. I will be doing a review video, but I want to get a couple of thousand miles on it so we can really see how they're going to work. So I wanted to give y'all some initial impressions. They are loud when you're slow rolling. Up until about 22 miles an hour or so, you don't hear it inside the truck with the windows up. But if you were in a Jeep or something with no top, windows down, slow rolling a lot, you're gonna hear it. You might even get some funny looks driving around in the parking lot. I do still have that vibration at about 63, 64 miles an hour. It does seem to calm down once you've been going that speed for a couple of minutes. So I don't know if it just takes that media and that balancer some time to work its way around where it needs to go. But I'm not 100% sold yet. So with that said, we'll get with it. Okay, so this is my first attempt at doing a video. We're installing these deals. Part number, there's the part number. On the 2014 Dodge Ram 1500. I've already jumped ahead a little bit and got started, and then realized, hey, maybe I ought to make a video. So the back ones fit pretty decent. I am gonna have some clearance in maybe to do. We'll see in a minute. I did have to drill all these lug studs out. Found a step bit that was the right size, same size as the lug studs, no big deal. Now the front is your issue. So it's definitely touching. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll this punch down in between there and bend this backing plate over where it will have a little clearance from that caliper bracket. I found an old rotor to bolt on there to hold it all down nice and flat. If you don't have one laying around, you could use your other side. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and apologize now for how choppy this video is gonna be, but I have learned it takes a little bit to, try and do this stuff and video it at the same dang time. But anyway, the nice thing about using a rotor is it's centric to your hub, and these holes are, flared or whatever you want to call it. So they actually center on the lug studs as well. And that keeps everything nice and straight and tight like it's supposed to be. So this plan didn't work. That plan was still a little too big. So what we did is take a flathead screwdriver, wedge down in here and just kind of tweaked her over a bit. Doesn't take much. We're still going to roll something through there, but you can see now, I mean, it's pretty well missing that caliper bracket. So once I get this in there, I'm gonna use that to roll. All right, guys, well, nobody said that was gonna be easy. So the other tube didn't work, so we got something a little smaller. And I'm thinking that's gonna work. I just don't know how to keep y'all here while I do it. So prepare for a shaky ride. So that's kind of caught in there, and we're just gonna roll around and do that a few times. And what that'll do is open up that gap nice and smooth. Now, the noise you're hearing is the beads inside the tube for that balancer. It's not touching on that caliper bracket no more. But we're going to true this one up a little bit and do the other side. All right, so we ran this through a few times. Kind of got to move it around and get it where you want it. And I mean, that's straight enough for me. Before I do any more tweaking to that other front one, I wanted to show you all the difference. There's two of each of these in this box. This one here is flat. These are the ones I'm using on the front. And then this has a little raised rib. Now, if that rib was on the other side, this one would work on the front with pretty much nothing done to it other than the lug being drilled out. But so that's what we're starting with. Before you start modifying on these, put them inside your rim where they're going to ride. Make sure you have plenty of clearance between this tube and your rim to make the modifications. So, you know, once you start drilling the holes and bending that backing plate, I'm pretty sure that you're avoiding the warranty with Centramatic. You know, they're designed to function the way they come out of the box, and you know, we're modifying that. So I wouldn't expect them to honor any warranties at this point. You know, you break it, you bought it. So I just pulled the rotor off to kind of see what we got going on. You see that nice line we got going there. Disregard this stuff. You'll get that with these big jobs. But we're gonna swap it out, do the other one. You pretty much know how the second side is gonna work. It's gonna turn out really nice. And you're gonna probably end up ordering or trying to order a new front one so that you can do it right the second time. But what I'm doing on this one is I've driven a wooden wedge in there, and then use this rotor to spin it, make a few rounds, knock it in a little further. Just keep knocking it in until you get the clearance you want. Maybe a tad more, but it's gonna flex back. And yeah, I'll show you what it looks like here in a minute. So yeah, the second side, that is definitely the way to go. Let's zip these off real quick. That looks pretty dang factory made there. So I highly recommend using that little wooden wedge. That's definitely the route to go. But anyway, we'll get this all buttoned up. Alright, so we got the tire and wheel back on there. You can see there's plenty of room in between the wheel and that. You can hear the beads in there, so that's going to be kind of interesting to see how much noise that's going to be. Kind of slow rolling. Sounds bad, it's not dragging on anything, but I guess we'll find out eventually. This might not work for you. I was willing to take the chance, and it appears to be working out well, other than I got to redo that first one, but we'll figure that out at a later time. See if they work first. The issue I'm having is when I originally bought the tires, they balanced them, get up about 65 miles an hour, feel vibration, took them back, got them rebalanced. They ended up rotating them, same thing. Took them to a different tire shop, got them balanced there. They did a little better job, but they still had a little vibration. I bought these tires about a year ago. We don't put a lot of miles on this truck, but I've noticed it starting to get a little worse again. So I'm hoping these Centramatic balancers will solve our problems. None of the tires have an excessive amount of weights clipped to them on the inside or outside, and neither of the two tire shops have said anything about, you know, not being able to balance them on their machine. So I don't know what the deal is. I could put the stock tires and wheels back on and see smooth as glass going down the road. So I don't know whether it's a rim issue, tire issue, or what, but I figured these are worth a shot. I've seen pretty good reviews online, so see how it goes. All right, so moving to the rear, bolted it up the same way we did on the front. And if you look in here, no, that's kind of a goofy angle. But these rub, turn that this way. Yeah, it's a little better. So these just barely rub. So you're gonna apply that little wooden wedge, give it a couple of turns, and these back ones, they're not gonna take much to be right. So I just wanted to show you all this on the rear. On this side, man, we got great all the way around. This is one that I've already tweaked with the little wooden wedge, but it's gonna be great. The thing I'm noticing is this other side, this little casting right here wasn't cleaned up very well, so this actually sticks out further than this top side. I'll show you once I get it back together. All right, so we got this one slapped back together. This is the rear one, it hadn't been modified yet. You see, we got plenty of room up here, but this bottom bracket, and only on this side, is touching. So I think once I use the little wedge deal, get my gap a little bit better, I'm gonna take a angle grinder, flapper disc to that little bottom edge there, just to ensure that I don't have any rubbing issues. All right, so I wanted to show y'all two ways of getting these little clips off, because if you're doing those balancers, this has got to be a flat surface, so these clips have to come off. First step, you might grab a pair of these. This is the hard way. This is if you want to save them. Use a little screwdriver, pry up underneath a couple of little wings. Try and do it without stabbing yourself. You don't have to get too carried away with it. Feel it start getting loose, and then you can just kind of spin it off. Now, if you want to save them and reuse them, you can just lay it on something flat, give it a little whack with a hammer. There we go. Flatten those tabs out, and it'll squeeze right back on if you were doing some other kind of brake job or something. The second way, the faster way, nice sharp little chisel. You'll see that kind of thin band of metal right there. Tap. Catch it on this other side, about halfway around. and it's gone. That's the quick and easy way if you don't need them no more. So if you hadn't seen one of these before, this is the little clip holding the rotor on. These are the little wings you need to pry under right there. And as you go around, just little by little, it'll loosen up and you can take it off. If you're gonna use the chisel, that's the little band of metal you're trying to hit. Sorry, it's Southeast Texas. Something is going to be sticking you, biting you, or chewing on you. Get off me. We're not gonna need them anymore. Might have to whack that a little harder. Try not to hit yourself.